Alright guys, quick intro before we start. This is a Pokémon Sword Nuzlock. If you haven't heard of a Nuzlock before, they're just basically a harder Pokemon game where you can lose. I played with a few common rules where you have to catch the first Pokemon in each group, but I have species clause, so if it's a Pokemon I already have, I can get another encounter. They have to be nicknamed to make you more attached to them, and if a Pokemon dies it goes into the death box where it can't be used, and if I white out I lose. Alrighty guys, so this is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, I recommend watching part 1 before you watch this, so you don't get spoiled, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alrighty, let's get into this. So, this is the first battle, and right here, right now, I'm going to say I'm probably making mistakes. I lead off with Watcher against Trevenant, and I think to myself, you know, I feel like Watcher can take a Trevenant. But after he hit me like that, I knew there was no way Watcher was taking this Trevenant. I had a lot more faith in him than that. Swap in to Hansco. And I take Trevenant down. Wasn't too difficult. Hop brings in Snorlax. Now Snorlax is a tank and that is always a problem. But I've got a lot of health and I've got stab fighting move and I think it can do quite a lot to Snorlax. That turn did not go how I wanted it. But I try again. I did a lot less damage to him than I thought I was going to. But Snorlax had stab body slam which takes Hansco out. Bring in Rage Fish, and Rage Fish doesn't have a lot of problems. It is a Gyarados after all. So Rage Fish comes in, starts setting up, while the Snorlax also tries setting up. But Rage Fish is strong enough to do what the Snorlax can do, and he's at pretty good stats here. Snorlax still is very tanky though, which is always a problem with how tanky Snorlax can be because he's also buffed his defense. But the Snorlax goes down and brings out his Boltown, which goes down to 1 Aqua Tail, and Heatmore, which is weak to water, so I'll set up against it again. We take it out with an Aqua Tail, and then he brings in his starter, which is a water type, but with all my stats and speed it goes down to 1 Crunch, which is the end of the first battle, which wasn't actually too bad. Alright, so Watcher versus a wild Pokemon, and as you can see here, he hits me to pretty low health, but it looks like I can take another hit. He did only do 28 damage to me. He breaks out and hits me for an Electro Ball, which ends Watcher. I didn't realise it'd be in kill range, and that was a pretty bad mistake. I even had the Eviolite for extra defense, but Watcher was not very tanky. After this battle, I did find a random flocking Magikarp, and it just made me laugh so much I had to show it. Alrighty, so on the way through the 6 gyms trial, we got up against a Sudowoodo with Snappy. And I'm super effective with him, so, you know, I thought I would take him. He just lives my attack and goes for a Wood Hammer. The problem with Snappy is he has a ×4 weakness to Grass. That's something you do not want to have. Alrighty, so this gym here had not too much problem. It is a rock gym, and I have a Gyarados. So my strategy for this was just to set up my Gyarados and see if he can take it. So to start off with, I just start Dragon Dancing. Avoiding the Rock Tomb is a great thing, as I am weak to Rock. He hits me with one, which lowers my speed, but it doesn't matter too much, as I am still raising my speed. And Gyarados is quite quick to begin with. Hits with another, which lowers me down, which makes me heal. Then he misses a Rock Tomb. I'm at +3 right now, so I go for another Dragon Dance at +4. Now, he raises his attack and speed here, so I gotta get rid of him. Which was easy, as he's weak to water, and I'm at ×4. I do some more Dragon Dances on a Shuckle. I didn't know he had a Shuckle, or I would have set up on the Shuckle more better, because it's a Shuckle. See how little damage a Shuckle does? So we take out his Shuckle. Next up is his Stonejoker. This Pokemon was a bit weird throughout the journey. I didn't really know what it was. It didn't seem very strong. He brings out Colossal, and this thing has a ×4 weakness to water. We're at ×3. A +6 attack. He's about to get mega hurt. He Giga Dynamaxes, I Dynamax, and then we kind of just take him in one giant Hydro Blast. There you go. 6th gym done. Not a lot of problems there, were there? Alright, onwards to the 7th rival battle. Now this one here, I had the exact same strategy as the Rock Gym. I'm just going to set up against his double, using Dragon Dances and healing until his double dies. This does take a while to kill his double, and I probably just wouldn't quickly kill him. But I wanted to end on the perfect stats. This would have been a lot quicker if I had Sword Stance. But I do like Dragon Range, as it does raise my speed as well, and speed is very important. I increase my chance to crit just for that extra damage. We now enter the part where Rage Fish can easily sweep everything this thing has. So the rest of the battle goes very easily and pretty quickly. But overall, nice battle. Top. We did try. So after this battle we had some good news. Our Snorunt called Shivers finally evolves into Frostlance, which is just great. Alright, so when we talked about how I made some mistakes, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I made. We have a Crawgun encounter here. I fail the Quick Ball, which makes it annoying to catch. He does a lot of damage to Hermie and gets a defense drop, meaning Hermie cannot stay in. I swap to Rage Fish. I drop his attack one state, he raises it twice, which puts him at +1. I try and do some damage, so I go for an Ice Fang. I hit my Ice Fang, he flinches, I do it again. He then Razor Shells me, which does, you know, not too bad damage, so I try and do a Pokeball. He then crunches me, which ends me at him at +1. He outlevelled me about 4 levels, but I didn't think I'd go down, and that was probably the hardest loss I reckon I had. I'd love to Rage Fish, and he would have been a great asset for later. We do end up catching a Crawgun, but it still was not the same. Alrighty, the next Marnie battle, so second one, has no problem, just like Biddy, she is weak to Bug. So all we do is spam Fury Cutter on Hermie. Pretty simple battle, pretty straightforward, wasn't really much strategy involved, I guess. It is a little bit worrying that Raihan did fully max its attack out. But it still locks up. That was annoying with Torment. Torment just makes it so I can't spam Fury Cutter, which really annoys me. Dodge goes weak to ground, that was an easy kill. Okay, that brings out the last Pokemon. And one last Fury Cutter should end it. Easy battle overall. Alright, here we go, Piers. And now, my plan here was to use Hermie to Fury Cutter him, as Piers is weak to Bug. Hermie's a pretty good Pokemon overall to do it. And Fury Cutter may not be the best move, but it works really well. He has Scrafty, and I am actually weak to fighting, so it was a little worrying. But the leftovers and all that kind of work, and I get some extra stats. Sand Attack is definitely not what I wanted, as Fury Cutter doesn't have 100% accuracy already. I get a crit and he Brick Bakes me, which is really good they didn't pay me back, as the payback would have done a lot more damage. I always end it with the Fury Cutter and heal back some health, and then I Fury Cutter him one last time to end the Scrafty. Now remember, I am at -1 accuracy, so that went really well. He throws out his next Pokemon, and he says it's going to make it a lot harder. He foul plays me, which does quite a bit of damage, and I one-shot him with Fury Cutter with another crit. He brings out his Obstagoon next. And if those of you that haven't got to him yet, his Obstagoon is trouble. It is very strong. He puts up a obstruct, and I lose defense. With that, there's no way I can swap in, so I swap to Firebug. And here, he throat chops, and it looks like it's all good. So I bug bite to get some damage. I do about half, and he counters and just kills Firebug. I really like Sentry Scorch, and Firebug didn't really get to be used that much, so it was very upsetting that. I don't really have any other options but to bring Hermie back and try Fury Cuttering. Hermie does take moves a lot better than Firebug does though, and he has leftovers. So Fury Cutters, Obstagoon, and it's done. Bad day, fight. He brings out Skunk Tank, but Skunk Tank really doesn't have any answers. The only thing is though, it does have an ability to do damage when it dies. He hits a Toxic, which is not good. And then I take him out with Fury Cutter. I live the Aftermath, and that's the badge done. A hard fight. Piers' Obstagoon is a monster, and I lost Firebug. It was pretty sad to lose Firebug there. Now this battle I was not expecting, and I didn't realise a lot of things here. Number one thing I didn't realise is that when you dig, Dual Blade can still hit you with Iron Head, and it does a lot of damage. I got pretty close, and I almost lost Hermie there. It was pretty scary. So I swap out of Hermie into Sluggo, who's a water ground type. Great type to have, and he Iron Heads me for like nothing, Earth Power. I take it out. And I don't think Poltergeist really has anything for me, so I go for a thing. And then he hits me with a Giga Drain. The problem about a ground water type is it's ×4 weak to grass, and that is a big weakness to hold, and it's just not great. I heal up Hermie, and Hermie should be able to finish the battle. Fury Cutter, which does quite a lot, and then his Weak Armor kicks in. Weak Armor is not actually too great of an ability because he was already faster than me. He gets a crit, and then I Fury Cutter him and take him out. Another lost Pokemon, another time where I just should have known the moves they can have. His last Pokemon is not much threat to Hermie either. Alright guys, so this is the 8th gym we're coming up against, and this is Raihan. I have no real counters for him, but I decided to end up leaving with Eats a Lot as Snorlax and Shivers as Frostlass. The problem is, he has Rock and Steel types, and Frostlass does not hold up well against him. He leads with Gigalith and Frostlass, and I hope the Gigalith does not target the Frostlass. Yeah, I take the gamble and I attack. Shivers one-shots the Flygon with ease as it's ×4 weak to ice, and Eats a Lot hits Gigalith but not enough to kill it, but Gigalith goes for Eats a Lot, which is the best outcome I could have hoped for. He brings out Sandacobra, and I decide to take another shot and do it again. I do the same thing again, and Shivers one-shot Sandacobra. And Eats a Lot takes out the Gigalith. There we go, nice and easy. And now he has one Pokemon left, his Ace. This is where things get a bit interesting. He brings his Ace out, and I Dynamax each lot, and I swap Shivers out. There's no way Shivers can last in this battle. It's done its job, it can live. He Giga Dynamaxes, which is probably my least favourite Giga Dynamax, this one. And I Dynamax eats a lot. It's time. And he hits Rapper, which is a great thing I swapped out. Now I'm Shivers. I hit him quite well to start off with. First turn of the battle, we haven't done too much. I hit him with a Max Quake and I Glare to paralyze him. He once again goes for Rapper, and Rapper still tanks his hit brilliantly. I paralyze him and hit with a Max Quake. I go for one last Max Quake and a Dig. Dig's under the ground and hits a Max Quake, which he just lives. He goes for a Max Knuckle and does a lot of damage, eats a lot, but he lives. And now the good thing is, Rapper is the fastest on the battle, meaning he will be hitting first. I crunch just to make sure, and Rapper ends the duel. And I done the 8 gym without losing a Pokemon. That's actually one of the best battles, considering my plan was absolutely terrible. But it went well, and all in all, I did enjoy that fight. He is a really good 8th gym leader. So here we go, on our way to the champions. Now this was just unlucky. We had a Flareon and it is my encounter, so I gotta try and catch it. It breaks out of the Quick Ball, which is really annoying, because then it's just hard to catch. I try and get some damage off. It's still going for last resort, which does nothing. I almost one-shot it. So I start throwing some Pokeballs. And it comes there, and he hits a Flare Blitz, and almost just one-shots, eats a lot, and kills itself. That was pretty scary. Here I made some mistakes. I Gardevoir onto Charlie. This is a very bad matchup, as he's good against me, so I decide it's time to swap into someone who can actually handle this. And the only counter person I have that can really handle it is Shivers. I bring in Shivers, and it's time. It's a Dazzling Gleam, which does a bit of damage, but not too much. I Protect to see what it has. It has Calm Mind. Probably shouldn't have protected, because that's kind of scary now. I didn't think of it. I go for a Hex. I hit it with a Hex and it does quite a good amount of damage, and it kills Shivers. I wasn't thinking about the Calm Mind, and I really should have swapped. I just didn't work it out. Losing Shivers there was a sad mistake. That really shouldn't have happened, but sometimes you just not paying all attention.